Federal government of Nigeria has announced the commitment of Jindal Group to offtake about 450 million metric standard cubic feet per day of natural gas to underpin a $4 billion investment in a 10 million tons per annum hot briquette iron steel plant to be located at Akwa Ibom Solution Hub Industrial Park, a free zone facility in Akwa Ibom State. According to the Minister of State Petroleum Resources, who disclosed this in a statement, the project is expected to create thousands of jobs and position Nigeria as a regional powerhouse for industrialization and high-grade steel production. The government also noted that discussions are underway to finalize the gas sales and purchase agreement for the supply of natural gas to the Indian firm, following the agreement, which was sealed after a meeting between the federal government of Nigeria and Jindal Group chairman. As part of the agreement, the Ibom Solution Hub and Industrial Park and Jindal have agreed to lease 300 hectares in the Ibom Solution Hub and Industrial Park for the project. During the signing of the agreement, the investor Jindal expressed its company's interest in investing in Nigeria due to the long history of cooperation and their desire to support Nigeria's drive for industrialization and economic growth. The investor, Jindal Group's interest in Nigeria stems from the country's strategic position in Africa and its vast natural gas reserves, which are essential for producing high-quality steel using new technology. The federal government of Nigeria on this project noted that it is committed to provide an enabling environment for investors, including significant incentives to encourage and protect investments in the gas industry. The government also assured the investor of safety and security for its investments, highlighting Nigeria's conducive business environment and the government's dedication to supporting the project's successful takeoff and implementation. This project is a testament to the current administration's vision for gas-based industrialization, and it remains focused on attracting further investment that will drive economic growth. With this project, Nigeria takes another major step towards becoming a manufacturing hub powered by gas. And according to the investor and the government, the project will yield immense benefit for both the economy and the people. Recall that some time ago, the president of Nigeria actually went on tour to visit a lot of countries, which have started yielding results as Indian investors recently assured the Nigerian leader of their readiness to facilitate fresh $14 billion investment into the West African country. The investment pledges form the bedrock of the Nigeria-Indian Presidential Roundtable and Conference held in New Delhi, the Indian capital, on the second day of Tinubu's visit to the Asian nation. Aside from the $4 billion investment announced by Jindal Group for Nigeria, other investments include Indorama Petrochemical Limited, which pledged a new investment of $8 billion in the expansion of its fertilizer production and petrochemical facility in Eleme, Rivers State. Jindal Steel and Power Limited, one of India's largest private steel producers, also committed to investing $4 billion in Nigeria following discussions with the current administration on the sidelines of the G20 summit in New Delhi. Similarly, the founding president of Skipper Sail Limited announced that following the government personal intervention, they will be investing $1.6 billion in the establishment of 100 megawatt power generation plants across the states of northern Nigeria, amounting to 2,000 megawatts of new power within the next 4 years. Additionally, the current administration approved finalization on a new $1 billion agreement to bring the Defense Industries Corporation of Nigeria (DICON) to 40% self-sufficiency in local manufacturing and production of defense equipment in the country by 2027 through a comprehensive new partnership with the managing arm of the military industrial complex of the Indian government. Another Indian firm, Bharti Enterprise, which is a major first-generation corporation in India with interest in telecom, space communications, digital solutions, insurance, processed foods, real estate, and hospitality, expressed its commitment to invest an additional $700 million in Nigeria, with work set to begin immediately. Steel is globally recognized as an ingredient for actualization of sustainable industrial and economic development aspirations of nations. Steel is a high-strength, formidable, versatile, and low-cost material used globally for a variety of purposes. It is used in the production of automobiles, buildings and infrastructure construction, domestic appliances, fabrication of metal products, agriculture and military equipment, and construction of energy, rails, and road facilities. The global steel production grew significantly from 28 million metric tons at the beginning of the 20th century to 781 million metric tons at the end of the century. Over the 20th century, the production of crude steel rose significantly to 1.6 billion metric tons per year. Also, during this period, the consumption of steel increased at an average annual rate of 3.3% of the global steel output. With the opening up of global trade after the COVID-19 disruption, Africa has produced more than 1.3 million metric tons, mostly from Egypt, South Africa and Libya. Though Nigeria is blessed with abundant natural and human resources, sadly, however, the country is yet to fully exploit the potential of the steel sector. Nigeria undoubtedly is blessed with all the major raw materials needed for production of iron and steel. This includes 3 billion metric tons of iron ore, 3 billion metric tons of coal, and more than 700 million metric tons of limestone and 187 billion SCF of natural gas. The planning for the Nigerian steel sector started in 1958. However, after about 50 years, the country is yet to establish a stable iron and steel sector despite the huge investment of about $7 billion already expended on the steel development. The exploration started at the Itakpe iron ore deposit in 1963, and between 1961 and 1965, several foreign companies who came to assess the Nigerian steel sector reported that steel production was not feasible as a result of lack of domestic markets, high cost of technology, infrastructural development, lack of manpower, the poor grade of iron ore deposits in Nigeria, and other international political considerations. However, by 1967, Russian experts came to Nigeria to conduct feasibility studies towards the establishment of an iron ore and steel plant in Nigeria. During this period, from 1960 to 1970, the government of Nigeria directly coordinated the iron and steel sector in Nigeria, and there are instances of policy inconsistency. During the Second National Development Plan, which started from 1970 to 1974, the government established the National Steel Development Authority, which was saddled with the responsibility of iron and steel development. Under the coordination of the Russian experts, NSDA conducted various geological surveys that led to the discovery of commercial quantity of iron ore in Nigeria, and during the implementation of the National Development Plan from 1975 to 1980, the government signed various agreements for the construction of 2 integrated steel plants and 3 rolling mills. By 1979, the government promulgated Decree No. 60 of September 18, 1979, which unbundled the NSDA and established the Ajaokuta Steel Company and other steel companies and rolling mills across the country today. While the 3 rolling mills and the DSC were completed on schedule, the ASC were not completed until after 40 years of intermittent construction work. Till today, the Ajaokuta Steel Company, or ACF, has failed to take off, while the Delta Steel Company and the rolling mill in Osogbo, Jos and Katsina are producing at very low capacity utilization. It is, however, worthy to note that the $4 million Jindal investment in Nigeria marks a significant milestone in the country's economic development. This foreign direct investment is a testament to Nigeria's potential for growth and its attractiveness to international investors. The investment is expected to create new job opportunities both directly and indirectly, contributing to reducing Nigeria's unemployment rate. This influx of foreign capital will also stimulate economic growth, increasing Nigeria's GDP and bolstering its position as a key player in the West African economy. In conclusion, the $4 million Jindal investment in Nigeria holds a significant promise for the country's economic future, which exemplifies the potential of foreign direct investment to drive meaningful change in Nigeria. Do well to drop your honest comment, tell us what you think, don't forget to subscribe and share. Thank you.